go, boy. War never changes. War never changes.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Saladino. Now, I saw this Fallout poster on Amazon before it blew up, so to speak, on Twitter. And I was already thinking of mentioning it in another video I'm planning on doing about this whole defeat the male gaze garbage that's happening throughout all of entertainment, especially geek entertainment, where you have this world's crappiest team up of feminists and LGBTQ activists purposefully uglifying and desexifying women by pretending there's no difference between men and women, so that they can keep pushing this absurd notion that men can actually become women. And that's what they mean when they say trans rights. They mean that men can become women. And, you have the natural, obvious human pushback. No, they can't. There are obvious biological and sexual and just plain aesthetic differences between men and women, no matter how much these idiots keep pushing this stuff. This thing about trans activism and trans rights, it would be one thing if they were just advocating don't hurt trans people for being trans. That's perfectly fine and reasonable. These days, though, you talk about this don't hurt trans people, but it's really, a lot of this so-called trans violence is down to relationship issues. It's people who are willingly in relationships with trans women, and it's just, the kind of thing that happens in relationships everywhere. It's domestic violence and, people getting in arguments and that kind of thing. You would think if there was really this true epidemic of trans violence, with a lot of the way that they've been acting lately, you have these TikTok influencers going around harassing people at restaurants, and you have high school students saying that they're trans, so that they go into girls' bathrooms and they're beating up actual girls for saying that they're not women and all this stuff. You'd think if there was really this epidemic, trans people would be gone by now. People would stop coming out as trans if they thought it was so dangerous to be trans. But the thing is, feminists hate men. And they want to destroy male spaces. So they'll use trans women to help them out, to help them do this. So when I saw this Fallout poster, I didn't think, oh, this girl has no ass. Ugh, what's going on with her? I just thought immediately, oh, they're purposely doing this. They're not showing this girl's little ass off to its best light because, they know men are going to check her ass out because of how they're showing it. And I was going to say, why even bother showing this girl from behind if they're not going to show her behind off in its best light? But the thing is, I guess they're trying to show she's standing at the mouth of the Fallout vault looking out into the world or whatever. So you see her from behind, so to speak. But they purposely did something in Photoshop. And if not Photoshop, certainly with the outfit she's wearing. So the vault suits are form-fitting. And that's the thing again. So you have to see this girl from behind, but they don't want you to see her from behind and actually like what you see. This is like, there was some woman, it was probably Alyssa McConte, somebody wrote an article a few years back complaining about, well, there needs to be more women leads in video games, even though there's plenty, but there needs to be more women leads in video games, and men need to be willing to play games with women leads, even though we have been. But then also complaining about the fact that basically make more games with women leads, but don't make them in third person, because all men are going to do is check out the female characters behind. It's like pick a struggle. I talked about this in another video. It was like pick a struggle. What do you want? You want more women to be the heroines, the leads in video games, but you also want them to be unattractive. So what are you doing? You're just destroying a hobby, and you're doing it because men like attractive women, and they don't have a problem. We don't have a problem with playing with female leads or whatever. It's what they're doing when they do that. So I wasn't even interested in this Fallout adaptation because what's going to happen, period, these days with adaptations. But I saw somewhere that the producer out and out said he didn't care about the lore. He wasn't paying attention to that. That wasn't his job. He was just going to take the name Fallout and just do whatever the hell he wanted to do with it. It was a he or a she, I don't know, or them, it could have been. It was a showrunner or producer. I can't remember where I even saw it, but I ignored this Fallout adaptation as it was. But again, when I saw the promo poster, it was on Fire TV and they kept showing it and I was like, oh God, they are purposely showing you this girl's behind, but they've put her in a vault suit that's not form-fitting. So it's sort of like she may not have a big booty as it is. Now, I'm an ass man, but being an ass man doesn't mean that I need these large, huge, jiggly asses all over the place, like these two basketballs in some girl's skirt or pants or whatever, just wobbling around all over the place. I love that too, but a woman's ass is great because it's a woman. It's a woman's body. And they come in all shapes and sizes. Even a girl with no booty, if it fits her like body type, that's perfectly fine. And of course, when you get her clothes off, you're not going to be complaining. It's soft, whatever. Not to get too much into all that. But my thing is, when I saw her, my point is just when I saw her, it wasn't that she had to have this big badonkadonk, the girl. I was thinking she probably didn't really have much ass, period, even though they've done whatever they did, the ad people. Sort of like what they did to Karen Gillan, Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy movies, how they really nerfed her looks from like the first movie to like the third or the last film, where she just looked like a dude. Like she was clearly trans friendly, the way they made that character look. And it was ridiculous. And I felt that's what they must have done to this actress. Like my thing was, okay, so it's a Fallout adaptation. It's not going to be good. They're not going to respect the source material. But of course, the lead is a woman. Now, the funny thing is when I play Fallout, I played 3, New Vegas, and 4. I always make women leads, female leads. But when I see they're going to make an adaptation of Fallout and they're going to make a female lead, I'm just like, whatever. I don't care. I don't like this. And it's because what that comes with these days. Putting a female lead is great. Like a lot of the best films, whether it's classic Hollywood or independent films, art house films, star women leads. You can do so much with a female character because of the range of emotions and experiences that women could go through, all this stuff. It could be great. But the people who are working in Hollywood and in games and comics are not leaning into that at all. They want women to be just like men in anything that they think will enchant or make a woman likable and attractive to a man. They purposely go out of their way to diminish. I keep saying this. They tell on themselves when they do this thing to defeat the male gaze by making women look like men, make them walk like men, make them have, no hips, widen their shoulders, make them have bigger jaws. They're doing this. They're telling you that trans women are not women and that you're not going to find a trans woman attractive if you can just see right away that they're a man. They're telling you that. So my thing is, again, I look at this poster, I see this woman, I didn't make it about her, about the actual actress, the actual woman. I was like, even though she doesn't have much ass probably in real life, just like, even with like Brie Larson in the first Captain Marvel, but they put her in an outfit, absolutely no ass. So she doesn't have much ass to begin with, but the costume didn't do her any favors in that first one. She's one of those girls, a lot of girls are like this. They usually have big boobs, no butt, or they have big booty, no boobs, and which is fine. But what they did to Brie Larson was criminal because you see, even her, after they were trying to be funny and defeat the male gaze, and you're not going to like anything about this woman. She's going to be completely annoying, and you're going to fear her. You're going to be intimidated by Captain Marvel because she's a true heroine, and men are not, men don't like that. Men don't find that appealing, and you better not find her attractive because she's never going to fuck you anyway. So they do all of this stuff with her, and then even Brie Larson knows she got dragged and clowned so much. He's like, hell no. In the sequel, I don't care if it's not my true sequel anymore. Y'all better do a better job. And they did. So the outfit they gave her that time, even though she still doesn't have any real booty, it's cute. And you could see in the costume they give her in the Marvels, and they make a point. They show her ass in certain shots in a way to show, look, she got a little booty. It's cute. It's fine. So I'm saying that again because it's like you're looking at this girl and I'm like, the vault suit is not form fitting. And they probably did something in Photoshop to make her body more trans friendly. And someone on Twitter said what they did was they widened her shoulders. Other people posted screenshots where her ass is bigger than that in the show itself. Either way, she doesn't have this big badonkadonk. Again, that's fine. Like, I'm an ass man, but a nice ass comes in all shapes and sizes. That's what being a true connoisseur is all about. So, and that's exactly what this guy who did this fix was thinking. He wasn't thinking, ew, this girl's got no ass. I'm going to fix it because I can't see a real woman with no ass in my entertainment. No, he was looking at the poster and saying they clearly did this on purpose. The vault suit is not form-fitting and it's not even the right material. So he goes in AI, does put this little post out, and people lose their goddamn minds over it. And it's really annoying to see so-called straight men like Mudahar and the Ackman do this virtue signaling bullshit where they're just so horrified and disturbed. And you got Mudahar acting like a complete clown, talking about this is what crippling porn looks like. No, it's not. If this was about porn, he would be off jerking off to porn somewhere. He wouldn't be. They keep doing that. I think they think that they can shame people by bringing up porn constantly. But they're the ones with porn on their mind when they think that looking at a woman, finding her attractive, or wanting to see attractive women entertainment has anything to do with porn. The thing is, porn exists. I keep saying this. Porn exists because men like to see attractive women. That's it. And a lot of these women in porn don't have the biggest, juiciest asses anyway. And a lot of ones who get the BBLs mess their bodies up when they do that anyway. Even when they get the boob jobs, they mess their bodies up. The shapes look all wrong because they should just keep their natural shape. Maybe just do some exercise, have a nice little butt, and that's it. But this whole porn addiction thing is just to shut men up, and men pushing that is like the worst. These weak-minded, limp dick men who get all upset. And then Mudahar tried to do this thing, because I know V did the post where he's like, this has nothing to do with, it's not a big deal. And he's trying to say, well, he used AI to transform a woman's body without her consent. And again, it's a poster. It's not her real body. And even if it was, even if somebody did that, this woman is in the public sphere. Amazon, the ad people who messed with the poster, the Fallout poster, isn't using her exact one-to-one body. I know they're not. I know they did Photoshop to make it look less feminine and less attractive. And they did it on purpose. This stuff is so deeply ingrained throughout so much of entertainment. It's disgusting. And that's why we're in this so-called stupid culture war that people try to pretend, they try to act like they're above when you can't get away from it, because you can't just have a show with a good-looking woman as the lead without them doing something to try to minimize her attractiveness so that men won't completely like it. So they won't feel like they're giving something to men that men like and want. And then also playing this game about, oh, well, seeing a woman and finding her attractive somehow hurts her. The male gaze somehow diminishes her. It's going to make you go out into the world and see women as just objects, when it's not about objectification. It's just attraction. And this guy who just did this little, I don't even think it's a shit post. I think his Twitter seems to be, I'm going to fix these, purposefully uglified women with AI. And I know there's people going crazy about people using AI, but like I said in another video, they're the ones who create this environment where AI can thrive because they're not giving people what they want. They're not being true to what natural art is. Like, natural art is not taking a beautiful woman and making her ugly so that you can push a trans agenda, or so you could just pretend that you're protecting women from some kind of violence because men find women attractive, which is just their most natural thing in the world. I always say it, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for heterosexuals finding one another attractive. Yet you're acting like a guy saying, hey, I'm going to make this girl in this poster have a juicier ass. It's actually lore accurate to give her a better looking ass because of the way the outfit's supposed to fit her. But then you have Mudahar, which I'm not even going to focus too much on Mudahar or even the Ackman on it. It's just, like I said, the idea of these men who are pretending that there's something wrong with men saying, hey, I'm tired of this uglification of women in media. You're doing it to pretend that men can become women when we all know that they can't. Real trans women don't want to look like men. They want to look like women. They know what that means. Even if these people are pretending they can't define what a woman is, trans women certainly know what a woman is because they say they're not what they're born as. So I don't know. It's just stupid. This moral panic, these people getting overly excited about things. Like I said, people are trying to. The thing is, what I hate about these weak-minded men, they're the ones who create this environment that allows the sociopaths online, the male feminists, the, LGBT activists, these sociopathic trans people, the people pretending to be trans, these lesbians, these people who lose their minds, but they're actually like sending death threats to the guy who made this little fix. people literally saying he should be killed and having no self-awareness about it. They're constantly worried about so-called violence against women just for a man saying, I like this woman's ass. E from Stellar Blade is gorgeous. Taki from Stellar Blade is gorgeous. I like that. I want to see more sexy women in video games, and I want more Western developers to go back to making attractive women in games. And again, this is not about all of them needing to be perfect. This fake thing about you're harming women by making these idealized figures that they can't live up to. They shouldn't be trying to live up to them. And this is not even their hobby to even be worried about that. They should be doing their own thing, minding their own business. Because the women who come to this stuff don't have a problem with it. They love these attractive characters. They create attractive characters in role-playing games and stuff. So they're not protecting anybody. They're just trying to destroy a hobby. And then guys like Mutahar and the Ackman who push this fake thing about, oh, you need to go touch grass. You're obsessed with porn. You're using AI to alter a woman's image without her consent. All this stuff keeps this going where, hey, all you have to do is just make a reasonable argument. The guy, I don't think, like I said, V was like he's shitposting. I don't even think the guy was really shitposting. The guy was just saying, look, we keep seeing this. It shouldn't look like this. It should look like that. It should look like this AI thing I came up with. And it really isn't that big of a deal. It's only a big deal because these activists, these sociopaths on Twitter, these psychopaths are losing their minds because they want to pretend that there's something they're not, and they want to force people to buy into something that's not natural, that's not human.
Let's go, boy.